It is a Friday. I think it's October 8th. I am down the farm, getting ready to take a walk back. I'm gonna take my time because it's a warm Friday. It is warm, but I haven't hunted since last Saturday, since we had that great experience in the morning and in the evening. So we're gonna take a walk back. I was gonna sit in the saddle down where we last saw the split G3 buck, but the last 3 nights in a row we've had deer between 6:30 and 7, right at our muddy tree stand set that David and I sat in that Saturday morning. And one of those deer yesterday was the split G3. So we're going to that stand, and I'm gonna get up in there. I'm self-filming tonight, so we're gonna see what happens. So I'm gonna get going, take a slow walk, and I'll see you back there. Well, I am up at the stand. I took my time and walked slow, and I don't think that helped, because it's hot. 73 degrees when I got here, and I'm sweating, but I'm gonna freshen up that scrape in the vine, and then we're gonna get up in the tree and get all settled in. Well, I'm finally settled in. It took me a little while. It's 4 o'clock, so that's good. We've got about 2.5 hours or so, maybe a little bit more, until sunset. Let me see what sunset is here. So sunset is at 6:33 today. So we have 2.5 hours until sunset, and we can legally shoot until 6:57, or no, actually 7:03. Sorry, I can't do my math. So, but we'll see. Like I said, the last 3 nights in a row we've had deer right at this scrape. They've been coming either on this side of the tree or on this side of the tree from the soybean field out into this cover crop field, or coming up the tree line and being right in here feeding, doing their thing. That split G3 worked this scrape last night, so, or came right through here. I'm not sure if he worked it. We got a picture of him coming through right at the scrape, so hopefully something does that tonight, and we can get a shot. We didn't do a lot of trimming here, simply because, you know, we didn't want to ruin a lot of the cover. So my really good shot is going to be right out here, or out about 20 yards that way. In here I got some holes I can pick, you know, so we'll have to be careful of that. And then obviously we can shoot in the field right over my shoulder here. So we got a direct west wind, so we just gotta hope that we spray down enough and these deer don't smell us if they come up this side of the tree line and try to come through. That's the only bad thing about this spot. But we will have the sun setting here, so we got a lot of cloud cover, got a little bit of rain coming maybe tomorrow. But if there is sun here, if there are deer coming this way, we've got the backdrop and sun in my face right now because I'm facing this way. But if deer are coming from behind me, the sun will be in their face. hopefully we see some deer. It's gonna be probably that last half hour, I would say. There's a deer in a soybean right over here. Alright, so we had a deer out here in the soybean that's starting to walk back into the woods now. Looked like a young doe, or maybe a young button buck. It could have been bedded in that soybean the whole time I was here and just stood up and started feeding. Alright, well. Looks like the young ones are at least trying to get up and feed, so we'll sit tight and see if any more come. There's a deer just come out right over here. first doe just kept working her way down. There's another big doe that came out up here. She was about 50 yards. And then another deer that might be that smaller doe coming up from the bottom. And they're just working their way down. Well, I don't know how well you can see me right now, but I'm pretty much out of light as far as the camera and being able to see the shoot. So I'm gonna start packing up, and I'll see you back at the house or when I get down. Alright guys, well, I made it back to the truck. Dad's right there behind me. Met me out here. So 3 doe tonight. It is stinking hot. It's muggy. I took my time walking out and climbing down, and I'm sweating my rear end off. The deer were just continuing to feed in those soybean. There might have been another deer that came out of that woods as I was climbing down, because I could hear something up above me, and then one deer just blew once, and that was it. But that was it for tonight. At least we saw some deer despite how warm it was. But like I said, they were going to probably come out that last half hour, which is what they did. And the closest they got, that one big doe got about 50 yards, and that was it. So I'm going to head into the house here. I think Mom's got pierogies. It's National Pierogi Day. So I'm going to go have some pierogies, and David's here, and probably see what we're going to do for tomorrow morning for hunt. So we'll be back at it. Pulled into Mom and Dad's down here at the farm, and just gonna sit here for a little bit, have some coffee, and wait for David to get here. I know he's gonna sit in a ladder stand he's got in the bottom of this tree line just inside the woods. He's gonna hang out. It sounded like a gunshot, but it was acorns falling on the shed roof. But he's gonna sit because you know, he think those deer may be coming out of the corn. So he may be in a good spot right there to catch one of them as they come out of that corn this morning and sneak through, if they did the same thing they did last Saturday. So I'm still debating where I'm gonna sit. So I'm gonna sit here and have some coffee, contemplate that, wait for David, and then we'll get going. So we'll see you sometime. All right. Well, I'm heading back. I just called David. It's 20 after, almost 25 after 5. We were supposed to be here a quarter after, and he overslept, so he's just getting up. He doesn't have that far to go, and he can just climb up on a ladder stand. I'm gonna head back and get somewhere with the saddle, but probably not going to get up quite that high today, simply because I'm not going to have that much time. So alright guys, I'm going to get walking. I'll see you back there wherever I'm going to end up. It's about 5 after 6. I'm all settled. Got about a half hour till it starts breaking daylight. I'm not that high off the ground. I'm only maybe about 16 feet up in the saddle here, but I got a lot of cover out in front of me. I'm in a little patch of woods where these deer were all coming to last Saturday, and I can see the logging row where the big split G3 buck walked. So there were 3 sets of eyes out here in the soybean when I was coming in this morning, but they didn't blow. So David's down in his ladder stand, probably about 250 yards, 300 yards from me, in that corner right where the corn is. So hopefully one of us get a shot at something. I'm gonna go dark. We'll see you in daylight. Five after 7. And it's been Slowly getting light out. It's still a little dark for the camera, but I can see to shoot now, and if something were in the field, we have better camera light in the field than I do right here where I'm at. It's a breezy day. We don't have great winds. They keep swirling. Where I'm at this morning, last Saturday, the 2 big 9-pointers came out over to my right. I'm sitting probably about 50 yards from where David and I sat Saturday evening. And all those small spikes and does came this way, came into here. Over my shoulder is that small field that in the evening last Saturday, the small spikers, that doe, and the big split G3 were feeding in. They came out of that woods across from me, and they came through the hollow over here, and they walked up woods edge. So there were deer, like I said, in the soybean this morning, and David sent me 2 pictures of doe at the vine and the mock scrape right at the mud, he said. And I have a picture of a doe up in the food plot. So, not sure what we're gonna see. But we're gonna sit tight and see what happens. It is 9 o'clock, and I have not seen a single deer this morning. They were all moving before daylight, at least here. David hasn't seen any. He actually packed up and climbed down about 15 minutes ago. So I think I'm gonna do the same and go get some breakfast and some coffee and decide about the afternoon evening hunt. I'm gonna take a slow walk. Try not to sweat. This morning, by the time I got in my stand, I was just drenched. So, just gonna take my time and probably head back right where I was this morning and just change how I'm facing to watch that small field and see if anything comes out of that woods like they did last Saturday night. So maybe we'll get a shot. Didn't see any of the buck this morning. Didn't see any doe this morning. Got a doe on each of our cameras, but never anything in front of us to get a shot. So I bet they're sneaking through there for sure. Boy, it's warm. A lot of tracks here. Coyote track right here too. Buck track. So muddy. Alright guys, I'm gonna get walking. I'll see you when I'm settled. It's 20 after 4, so we got about 2 hours until sunset. I'm in the same tree I was in this morning. The only thing I'm doing is I'm set up just slightly off a little bit. This morning I was facing this way with that sun to my back as it was coming up, but there was really no sun. But I wanted to be able to see the soybean more, simply because I figured there would be deer coming off of that or up out of this bottom woods. So tonight, what I'm looking to do is I'm set up facing down, and if I have to, I can shoot this field over here. I have a couple holes that I could possibly shoot if something comes out into this small field like I did last Saturday, or if I don't have a shot and they're coming through, I can shoot. I got 15 to 40 yards shooting right out here in front of me. And then by being off on this side a little bit more, if something comes out of this corner over here to my right along the edge of the woods, and it doesn't look like it's going to turn, there's a couple holes that I could shoot through here. It'd be a little tough getting them on film, but I have some opportunities to shoot. So we got an east wind, so it's blowing this way, so I'm hoping that the deer are going to be coming out of this. That logging road that we saw them all come out of last Saturday, especially the split G3, is straight across from me, about 60 yards. So that's where they were all coming out. I've got plenty of cover both behind me and in front of me to kind of block any movement that I'm going to have to make with a camera and a bow. The split G3 is out here in the soybean. Come right through the ditch. I had one chance, but I couldn't get the camera down him and I couldn't get had drawn before he stepped out of my window. 35 yards. Alright guys, well, as you can see I lost light, so I'm going to start packing up. I'll see you back at the house. Well, I just got back to the house here, and what an exciting 15 minutes. I think I was all out of sorts. I apologize for the lousy camera footage, but I was just about ready to start packing up, and because it was getting dark in that woods. I hadn't seen a deer all night, and I heard a twig break behind me in the ditch, and I looked back and I saw a big bodied deer going down through. I didn't even see that it was a buck. I just saw a deer go down into the ditch, and I quick spun around in the saddle, brought the camera around. I knew I was going to have to be using my left hand to film and look over the camera to try to see the screen, and I didn't know where the deer was, and all of a sudden it ran out right onto that path there right before the soybean field, and it stopped, and I could see it was a buck. I just didn't know which one it was, and I was trying to scoot down to see it, and when I realized that it was a split G3 buck, I tried to get the camera on. I did get it on him, but I don't know if you can see his rack, but you could definitely see the body of the deer. And once I saw I had it on him, I got ready. I just started to draw, and he started to walk, and he walked right out of the only shot opportunity I had. He was at 35 yards right there. So I watched him walk off through the soybean field towards the tree line. I tried getting him on film, but it was too dark. I couldn't see in the camera to even get out there. So sorry for the lousy footage, but it happened really quick, and he came out right at last light. So the weather's been bad. It's been too warm, and it's put these deer nocturnal. So hopefully, I know this week it's going to be really hot again. I'm going to try to get out Friday evening. I won't be able to hunt Saturday. I got stuff with work. But hopefully the weather starts cooling down, and it'll get these deer back up on their feet and moving in the daylight hours, and David and I can get after them again. So thanks for hanging out today, guys. Pretty uneventful until the last 15 minutes of the day there, but sometimes that's when it happens. So as always, click subscribe, and I appreciate all your support. We'll see you on the next one.